Okay, here's my latest project. It's a 1981 ATC 110. It's a Honda, and this series of videos is going to show the reassembly. It's pretty much all torn down now. I plan to try to show the every single part, every nut, bolt, washer, and I'm going to show a close-up in the camera so that it may help you identify some parts. The reassembly actually doesn't start until the next video, so if you want to click on that link at the top of the page, it'll jump ahead and actually start with the reassembly. Otherwise, I'll tell you a little bit about it. I've been collecting ATC 110s. I wanted to get one of each, and they made them from 1979 to 1985. And this is the last one I didn't have, it's a 1981, and I was having trouble finding one, so I found this one here. And I thought I got a pretty good buy. I paid $50 for it, and it was pretty much all together. Some parts on the top end were missing. The pulse generator and valve cover and a few parts. It looks like somebody had started taking it apart. But the fenders are pretty good shape. They're aftermarket fenders. And they're not broken. There's no scratches in it. Well, there's some few scratches maybe, but there's no cracks in it. The seat's pretty firm. It could stand a reupholstering. So anyway, I took it home and started taking a closer look at it, and I realized the engine didn't really turn over too well. It just moved a little bit back and forth. It wouldn't turn over all the way. Well, the starter wasn't working right. It wouldn't retract all the way, so that's why we had trouble really testing it. And went to change the oil, and water came out. Well, that's not a good sign. So I decided I was going to have to take the engine apart, and when I got the cylinder and the head off, I realized that the piston was frozen up. Couldn't get the wrist pin out. And also one of these bearings, this one here, is frozen up. Also, as I was taking the engine apart, I found this little piece in here broken off of something. I don't know where the focus is. After looking around a little bit, I noticed where it was broken off from. See, one of the shifter forks is broken. So another part I'm going to have to scrounge up. And as I took it apart, I had to cut the shift shaft off because somebody had welded the foot shift onto it, and I had to cut it off to get the engine apart. Well, here it is. This is pretty much laid out in the order that I'm going to reassemble it. First part is going to be the transmission and crankshaft. I'll have to get a new crankshaft and new forks for the transmission. They'll go into the two main cases, and then we'll put the clutch in and the external clutch shift mechanism, external shifter. We'll put in the, this is the cam chain tensioner. We'll put that on. There's a sub-transmission, the magneto, rotor and stator, cylinder, head, camshaft, and part of the pulse generator. The stator is still here. The rotor is missing. Spark advance is missing. I have to scrounge up some of those parts. Cylinder, the valve cover is missing. That's the motor mount on the left. Goes on top of the engine, and there's a couple bolts to bolt the engine in. Then I'll start putting the frame together. I cleaned up the frame, primered and painted some of the parts where bare metal was showing. and clean up some of the other parts too. And I'll put the hub on, and these brake parts, and the wiring harness, and there's the brakes, dust cover, toolbox. There's the CDI. There's a little, right under the chain guard, there's a little catch for the seat. There's the axle and the sprocket, the driven sprocket, some nuts and bolts, and here's the forks. And that little baggie there are the little ball bearings, because they're all loose on this one. There's the light. I don't have a switch for the light. I may have to wind up buying one of those. But this, I'll have to use this. This is the only year that they had the square plastic box with the light switch on the top, so it would be hard to find another box. Okay, here's some the handlebars, the brakes. It has a foot brake and a hand brake. They both work the rear wheel. There's nothing to brake the front wheel. Okay, the main chain tensioner, the tail light, grab bar, chain, the air box with the air filter in it, carburetor. I'll tear the carburetor down and show all the parts on that. And the starter, I'll have to rewind that starter if the spring is still good. So I'll show how to do that. And gas tank, a little faded. I may have a better one actually on my other ATC. I have another 81 parts. These are both parts ATCs. I'm going to try to make one good one out of it. You can tell the year on the gas tanks on the ATCs by the decals. This one, for example, has the blue number is 110, and around it is white. That's the 81. In 82, the 110 was white with blue around it. 83 and on, the gas tank had a different shape and had a big gas cap on it. And each year the decal was slightly different. Well, that's about it. Let's go ahead and start putting it together now.